tava jananam kalo na janati tava samapanam.
Anahata is symbolized with two intersecting triangles forming a six-pointed star. This is a symbolism of how the lower three chakras and the upper three in the body are all meeting here as one. That means it has six qualities in one. Generally, Anahata symbol is a six-pointed star with a dot in the center. That means all the seven chakras have merged here in a certain way. Many cultures are using this symbolism in many different connotations, but essentially it comes from this. The upward moving triangle and the downward moving triangle have met. What upward moving triangle and downward moving triangle means is fundamentally, every creature in some way is trying to rise, whatever their understanding of rising. A little worm may be wanting to climb up the tree. A bird may want to soar up in the sky. A human being may wants to become rich or famous or powerful or something else, or wants to get enlightened. All these are efforts to rise. So this is the nature of the creation. Every creature is trying to rise to its fullest potential. Some will do it consciously, most will do it unconsciously, but everybody is trying to rise. A man who is right now running after money, you may think, oh, he is no good. But no, he is also trying to rise through whatever staircase he has found. His staircase is cash right now. You may think your staircase is energy, experience, whatever. Somebody may think their staircase is emotion. Different people may think or use different means, but every creature, human or otherwise, everything is trying to rise. This is the nature of life. This is creation. That which we are referring to as the very source of everything, this is not geospecific, this is not geostatic, so it moves every way. It percolates into everything because it has no direction, because it has no location. You have a directional movement only if you are stuck in one place, isn't it? Only if you are geostatic, you will have a direction to go to. If you are not geostatic, you are just everywhere, there is nowhere to go, so you just seep into everything that is there. You soak everything that's around you. So in this context, yogic terminology has used these two triangles. The creature is trying to move up, the source is trying to come down into this. Source does not come down or go up, nothing. It just seeps into everything because it's not located in any place. Like, let's say, because we live in this atmosphere, let's say like air. Air enters your ears also. Air enters the pores in your skin also, not just in your nostrils. If you open your mouth, it goes here also. It has no choice about those things. Wherever there is space, it will enter. Similarly, let's understand, it's only an analogy, don't start thinking on those terms Similarly, that we consider as the source is moving every way. But right now if we sit here, how is air moving means, we see in the passage it's going down like this and coming out like this. Good air. What's good for us? Good always means what is good for us. You must understand this. Others may not agree. All the other creatures on the planet may disagree with us. But good air for this life is going down. bad air is coming out. Yes? So this is only a contextual understanding. In reality, it's not like that. Air is going here also, but this is the main source because if you deny this, you will die. So you know that this is a must. So in this context, what we consider as the creature, which is this one, is trying to move up. This is one triangle, upward moving triangle. What we consider as the source or the divine is coming down. This is another triangle, downward facing triangle. Anahata is a place where both have intersected in a alignment, proper alignment, forming a six-starred, six-pointed figure with a central point. What this means is, it has many possibilities in one place. If there are too many possibilities in one place, it is also a place where most people miss all possibilities. Because there are too many things happening. If you pay attention to it, there are too many things happening there, so people may not realize anything. But it keeps them very well entertained. So we are coming to this anahata, where there are too many choices. Normally, except for a handful of people, I've always avoided putting people on anahata sadhana because there are too many choices and there are too many confusions. To go into anahata sadhana, two things are needed. One thing is sweetness of emotion, another thing is absolute steadiness of the intellect. That is, there is a distinct… See, we're talking about discernment, intellect means discernment. There must be a discernment between what is real, what is not real, what is memory, what is imagination, what is experience, what is psychological stuff. If this discernment is not there, anahata is not the place to go, because this is the place where you hear and see things in a way that even a reasonably stable person can go crazy. Somebody who has a little tendency will go all the way. Because anahata, the word anahat means a sound without reverb, unstruck sound. Most of the sound on the planet happens because something strikes something. This is an unstruck sound. That is, if you simply sit in silence, all kinds of sounds will happen. These sounds have been identified as 108 different varieties of sound. It is out of this that different deities have been associated with different sounds in India. If you say Shiva, it's a dhamaru or a drum. Dhamaru is a meeting of two triangles like this. When two equilateral triangles meet like this, it makes a drum. When one comes to anahata, when one is dominant in their anahata, they start hearing things. Sound of the bell, it's real. The drum, a wind instrument like a flute, these kind of things may start happening. When you start hearing things, generally it means that you're going crazy. So this is why before you hear anything, your discernment must be so crystal clear and your emotion should be sweet. Why emotion should be sweet is, if you have not come to a certain sweetness of emotion, we everywhere we're going about talking about blissfulness, and now we've kind of got down a step lower and saying, joy, 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 yogi's guide to joy, all this, because without sweetness of emotion, there are too many things that you cannot do. Without sweetness of emotion, which is constant within you, you are truly disabled, or let's say you're special. Because Without sweetness of emotion, you are denying yourself the universe, including everything here. Only when emotions, you have mastered the emotion to become very sweet, doesn't matter what. Now, going into different explorations is fine because otherwise you go into anahata, you see something, you hear something, you may come terrorized. Yes, truly terrorized. Suppose you see something like this, something you think is terrible. See, your idea of something being terrible is, I've not seen too many, but sometimes when I'm switching channels, I get to see what is considered a horror movie. It's pathetic. It's not… it doesn't horrify me, it just horrifies me that some director has a mind like this. Blood will suddenly come out of the eyes. Blood is always flowing in the body. If little leak happens, what is so horrifying about it, I'm asking? From wherever it leaked, what does it matter, I'm asking? No, it's supposed to be horror. Because a whole lot of people are innocent of these things, they don't know blood is flowing. They think they're like this. So for such people who are in such ignorance, suddenly something from within happened, images came up. Anahata is the place in the yogic science, there is a dimension of yoga called Tantra Yoga. In Tantra, one important aspect of it is the yogis create their own deities, that they create a certain form and make it alive. That form, either he or she or whatever that form is, it walks with the yogi all the time. So this is why he needs no company, this is why he doesn't get married. Because all the time there is company. For certain reasons, generally they created female forms with terrible attributes. The yogis created these things either because they want somebody next to them to whom you cannot be drawn because of physical beauty or something else. There is no way to be drawn. All kinds of weird images. I don't know if you have seen images of Rakini, Dakini, Chinnamasti, Kali. These are all terrible images of feminine manifestation. But they created these kind of images. One reason is because they want it like that. Another reason may be, suppose you try to make… let's say we gave you a lump of clay and somebody said, make the image of Adi Yogi. You know you may make him like this. Not because of choice, simply because you're clumsy with your hands. Possible? So for whichever reason, they created those kind of images and these walk with them. Many of these are still around. The yogis are gone long time ago. They fulfill the purpose of why they created these images, but they are gone. These forms are still there. Those who created some kind of lineage, there are people who still making use of those forms. Those who did not bother to create anything like that, they just left them loose. If you hit your anahata, they think a welcome bell has been struck and they tend to come. If they come, you won't play with them. You will be terrified of them. All these forms or created by human beings. Why it is coming towards Anahata is, this is the power of creation. This is where a human being can create. So once you touch the dimension, everything that's been created and left around, the subtle forms will start coming in. Before art, music and something else comes to you, is Kali, Chinnamasti, Rakini, Dakini, Lakini, Lankini, all these kinds of people. All these start coming in. It's a wonderful opportunity. But if your sweetness of emotion and a crystal razor-sharp discernment of the intellect is not maintained, these things can become a terrible experience and may break your mind. The core of the universe must be a tremendous place, but are you ready for going to that place? If you go to that place, this is not equipped to go there. So Anahata means the unstruck sound. Here, the first manifestation, why they call this unstruck sound is, the first manifestation of Anahata is that sounds will happen. Hearing things is considered as the first sign of psychological imbalance. And it is. Because those who are psychologically imbalanced in some way also become perceptive in some other way. One dislocation enables them in some other way. But this kind of enabling is not good for you. It is like a child who's just begun to walk, you put him in a marathon race because he's got legs. And for sure, he's going to damage himself. So, it is not that it is a bad thing. Too much of a good thing, when you're not ready for it or when you're no good for it, it's a bad thing. It is a great thing. Anahata is a fantastic place. But I find in today's world, getting people to sharpen their mind and turning their emotions sweet is quite a job. Yogi's Guide to Joy. Is it working?
Kalo na janati tava jananam Kalo na janati tava samapanam Drushto maya tava mahakala